Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
This video, I'm going to do what's in my beach bag.
Diamond now has over 1 million subscribers.
A popular influencer's emotional breakdown.
During the past year, my mental health went way downhill.
She told me that, Daddy, I see demons. They're coming for me.
Because of the fact of traumatic experiences, I have a lot of PTSD.
And a unique therapy to the rescue.
We have a ranch with 150 special needs animals.
They really do help to heal each other. Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Well, what I'm about to show you may seem to come out of left field, but I promise you that this footage of me hanging out with cows, goats, pigs, at a country farm will all tie into the main story today. You're going to have to watch this episode all the way to the end, though, to find out how. But first, let me tell you about Diamond. At 19 years old, this student appears to have it all. She goes to college while also working and living on her own. However, when I say Diamond works, it's a little more than a typical college job. She has been working as a social media influencer for the past 7 years. Today, she says she's grossing more than $20,000 a month and working with her manager and father, Danny, to start an apparel business. But Danny says his daughter's hectic work schedule is a vicious cycle, and today, Diamond is anxious, overstressed, and has been hospitalized 2 times this year after a series of bizarre behaviors. Take a look.
My 19-year-old daughter, Diamond, is a social media influencer. Her fans know her as Diamond's Flawless.
Hey guys, it's your girl Diamond Flawless, and I'm back with another banger video.
Diamond has over 1 million subscribers on her YouTube channel and about 745,000 followers on her Instagram. She has a contract with a clothing company that pays her $64,000 a year. She also averages about $10,000 a month on her YouTube channel. Being her manager, we're like a team. Her money is my money and my money is her money. Her social media career started when she was just 14 years old.
I went shopping today, so I need to show you guys what I got.
At age 16, she was on MTV's My Super Sweet 16.
I can't believe this is mine.
The pressures of fame have given her a lot of anxiety. It's gotten very tricky for her to know the right balance with her social media. She needs to be okay not performing at the level that she normally performs at. It's a battle for her. If she doesn't get help, I'm afraid that she might have a nervous breakdown.
Well, joining us virtually is Danny. So, Danny, what happened this summer?
About a year ago, she was going through some changes, and she went into depression for a few months, and I had no idea that she was depressed. She turned to drugs during that time. She said, Daddy, this is what's been going on. I've been depressed, but because of social media, I've had to keep, I've had to put up a front, and I've been doing drugs, but I've decided this morning that I'm gonna stop doing drugs. Then she told me a lot more about it, and right after, she ended up having a lot of anxiety. She would think that people would follow her. She was paranoid. Then it went into a manic episode, and from manic, it developed into psychosis.
Let's hear what she has to say.
I don't live a normal life as an influencer. I live in the public eye. So I first started beauty and makeup tutorial videos. I reached over 100,000 subscribers and was making money even when I was 14. Over the summer, I'll make around $40,000 a month because that's when kids are at school and they're always watching my videos. I can't think of doing anything else in my life because I love being an influencer. My dad is my manager and I call him Dadager. My dad is reliable, outgoing, smart, and he's really hardworking. Sometimes I miss the normal life. It's hard not having much privacy and having people know all about my life. The desire and need of my followers followers has caused me to act out and started fights and cursed out random people. Lately, I've been dealing with a lot of stresses in my life. My mental health went way downhill.
Diamond was admitted to the hospital twice this past summer. The first time she was suffering from mania that turned into a psychotic episode. She was speaking words that didn't make sense. The second time, she tried to jump out of a car while it was moving.
I had a breakdown, and I'm not sure what triggered it, but I feel like it's because of not having enough freedom, because people are always watching.
Do you feel a lot of pressure from just having to live up to expectations from people that follow you on the internet?
Yes, I can say that I feel a lot of pressure. Another thing I wanted to touch on is that, like, the whole being, like, famous and, like, thinking people are coming after me, like, that's really not even the fact of being paranoid of fans. It's more of, and, like, people recognizing me of who I am, oh, it's Diamond's flawless and stuff like that. It's more of just, like, I was having paranoia overall of anybody because of a lot of things that I've been through that were publicized in the past.
I'm going to find out why Diamond claims she cannot have a normal life. We'll be right back. I hate to see you wall yourself off. Some people might be intrigued for the first 5 minutes, but then after that, you're just one of the gang.
No, that's not true.
Diamond's definitely going through a bout with paranoia right now. Diamond will tell me sometimes that she thinks someone's following her. She thinks it's someone that's trying to harm her. When they roll down their window, it happens to be a fan just trying to say hi. She even had me tint her windows darker so that people wouldn't be able to see her in her car.
Well, Danny is understandably extremely proud of his 19-year-old daughter, Diamond, and the career that he's worked with her on in social media. He's worked as her manager for the past 5 years. However, now he admits Diamond has been suffering from a great deal of stress. Diamond, I'm curious about the word that you're using, paranoia. I think you're wanting to make a distinction here, and let me see if I understand you right. You're saying you're not feeling like you're being followed because you're just so famous that people are just following you everywhere. What you're saying is you feel threatened or followed not because of that, but because of relationships you've had in the past that have been problematic for you.
Exactly. Because of the fact of traumatic experiences, I have a lot of PTSD.
You say that you don't live a normal life and that you can't, like, be in college or a sorority like normal people can be. Why is that?
No. It's too many people that, it is actually a lot of people that do recognize me and have, like, you know, I have a lot of fans. So I can't really be in college, in a college atmosphere where it's just like, oh, I'm outside, like, hanging out with my friends, going to parties and stuff like that, because I've tried to my first freshman year, and people really do, like, attack me, like, Diamond, hi, nice to meet you, or, like, people ask me about my relationships.
You know, having been in the public eye for the last 25 years, I can tell you that you may not have as many people that recognize you as you might think. I mean, there are 30 plus million people in America, and you have 1 million people that follow you on the internet. So you really can have genuine friends, and I hate to see you wall yourself off from that, because you know, some people might be intrigued by that for the first 5 minutes, but then after that, you're just one of the gang.
No, that's not true.
Well, actually, it is true.
YouTube people think that they're in your lives. I don't know if that's, like, not, you guys are not aware of that.
We actually had a camera following Diamond while she was running errands with just regular clothes and no makeup on, not being Diamond flawless on the internet, but just Diamond, the very nice young lady that my staff couldn't say enough nice things about. This doesn't seem to me to be terribly intrusive to your life. But I mean, here you're standing there, this girl's, she doesn't bother you at all. You're driving around in a billboard, and still nobody seems to be bothering you. So it looked like you have the ability to be very normal and separate your two worlds. I'd like to now ask my good friend, life coach Mike Baer, to join the conversation. Now, Mike is also CEO of Cass Centers, and he's the author of Best Self, which New York Times bestseller, Best Self, and soon to be released One Decision. Now, Mike has plenty of experience working with celebrities and understands balancing everything. Mike, what do you say to Diamond about how to balance all of this out and give herself some relief so she can enjoy her life?
Well, both of you may not like this answer, but I probably would start off by restructuring the management of this dynamic, because this dynamic isn't working. And also, it's very rare that talent would have their parents as managers. Right around 20 to 21 years old is when they start to break free, typically, and really define themselves.
Diamond, what's the situation in which you're the most comfortable and at ease?
Probably being with friends, like being around people that I'm comfortable with and like can trust. But when it comes to like having the stresses of, okay, people always are in your personal life. YouTube people think that they're in your lives. I don't know if that's like you guys are not aware of that, but when you're a YouTuber, it becomes like people feel like they know you for who you are, like they know your everyday basis and everything like that. So it's a little bit different, and I am very interactive with my audience.
Yeah, because you expose so much of your personal life. We need your help, Dr. Phil.
I want Diamond and her dad, Danny, to stick around and carefully watch the next few segments, because part of the plan is going to come at the end of the hour. So stay tuned. Well, this year, I teamed up with the folks at CBS All Access and 5-time Academy Award nominee and Golden Globe Award-winning director, screenwriter, and producer Richard Linklater to executive produce a show that focuses on something very near and dear to my heart, animal rescue. This 10-episode documentary series explores the relationship between animals and humans. Here's the trailer for something cleverly titled That Animal Rescue Show.
We rescue as many animals as we're capable of. We only bring in the ones that everyone considers broken.
We accept animals of all kinds, from feather to fur to scales.
Yeah, I got a best friend in Austin now.
This Pause in Prison program is really unique. Most of the women in the prison don't know what the dog's going to do for them yet.
I've had multiple people tell me that this has saved their life.
I think you'll find one episode particularly moving because it focuses on handicapped animals and special needs children and how they can help one another heal by inspiring each other at one and the same time. Take a look.
Safe in Austin is a rescue animals, rescuing children, but basically it's just a family. The animals that come here come from severe abuse or have special needs of some sort, and then we invite children who also come from any form of abuse or special needs out to the rescue to touch and love and heal alongside the animals.
Good boy, Anna. Hey, Fitzy.
Gretel is blind in her right eye, and her brother Hansel is missing his left eye.
They're great ambassadors for some of our blind kids that come out. She's a pony, so she's really short. Safe in Austin was started because I have a son with autism. So I started doing my own research. By some grace, the words autism service dog popped up. I Googled every single place in the United States that trained service dogs and sent them all this crazy letter. I got an email back, and it was about an autism service dog that had been trained for another little boy that family decided that she wasn't good enough, so she was going to be a discount service dog. And she said her name is Angel. And I just like burst into tears, and I just knew instantly.
We walked into the hotel room, and the two of them went off together.
It was always amazing to see that when Jackson was scared, when he was having a hard time, that she would jump up on the bed. He always had a knack for being able to tell when he needed her.
We brought her home, our little discounted Angel, which I just find so ironic now that we only bring in the ones that everyone considers broken. I think it was a miracle, and the point of what we do now is to spread that to as many people and animals that need it.
Well, I was so inspired by Jamie and her family story that I decided to head down to Safe in Austin. Well, hello, hello.
Welcome to Crazy Town. It's so nice to meet you. That's Francis.
How you doing, Francis? So how'd you get into this?
I have 3 awesome kids, one of which has autism.
Good to meet you guys. I feel like I know you.
This is Jackson.
Good to meet you, Jackson.
I looked into service dogs for autism, and we ended up hearing about this dog appropriately named Angel.
Jackson was actually self-harming before Angel came in, right?
The very last time that Jackson did any kind of breakdown that was self-harming was 8 weeks after bringing Angel home. And just sort of instantly inspired us in the way of what can happen when you put kids and animals together. And suddenly we have a ranch with 150 special needs animals.
I've particularly enjoyed watching how you make the child dealing with a difference with themselves and how they bond with that animal that has the same difference. You see that a lot, don't you?
I do, and it's the best part of my day. Adam came to me completely limp.
So he's gone from being completely limp in a month to being able to do this.
Yes, a testament of what unconditional love can do, for sure.
Well, the kids just have to be inspired by that. Yeah.
You're doing good, bud.
Look at him. Good job. I'm an animal lover from early on in my life. I rescued a dog that I had until 2 years ago, Maggie, from the LA Animal Rescue, and had her for 13 years. And she was my absolute shadow. And I have to say, losing her was probably one of the most traumatic things in my whole life. And I've been mourning her for now 2.5 years, and I'm almost ready to maybe adopt another dog. Hey, pups. Hey. They're 4 weeks old.
Sweet baby.
Look at this guy.
Come here.
I'm gonna send this to Robin. She'll go crazy thinking I'm bringing 8 dogs home.
They're just the gentlest little giants.
Yeah, they really are. Robin wants me to take a picture of the one's face with the blue eyes and the 2 different eyes. So where'd you find these?
The parents were a neglect case, and mom had puppies.
Hey, pups. Yeah, I might have to call you about one of these.
Well, I think that would be amazing.
And thanks for having me. It's been a highlight of my trip, I guarantee you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, I did not expect this to happen when I visited Safe in Austin, but let's just say, well, I didn't return to Los Angeles alone. Well, we have 2 new additions to the family. These are 2 new rescue pups that we got. This is Blue. They're brothers. They're 8 weeks old. He has blue eyes.
And Einstein has one eye that's blue and one eye that's brown, and he's brilliant at the same time.
I really thought about bringing one home, and Robin said, well, why don't you bring 2?
Oh, you can't split them up.
Don't go buy dogs. Don't buy pets. You got to rescue pups.
We're a family. We're 4 now.
What are they, posing? Welcome to the family, boys. So what do you think about those boys, Mom?
Those little boys are like our babies.
Well, when we lost Maggie, we were very, very close to Maggie. Sad. And as you can see, those pups are growing up.
Oh, they're huge. I said, I joke all the time like I'm having saddles made for them so the grandbabies can ride them.
And we have Jamie to thank. I'd like to introduce the founders and owners of Safe in Austin, Jamie and her husband, David. So, guys, how are you? Good to see you again.
Oh my gosh.
Good to see you again.
We're so good, but we're also over here blubbering.
Well, thank you guys for everything you do. It's astounding when I've been there and seen the children with the animals and then seeing them on tape. They really do help to heal each other, and that's what you guys see on a regular basis. And you do a great job of it. And, you know, our pups have gotten bigger, and so has one of yours. Now, Halo was one of the dogs featured in the episode. So let's take a look at what's happened with Halo.
Let's try this one. Ready? Didn't have to show you. Look. Hey, here comes your mama. Good girl. Oh my God, I can't believe she's running around.
Can you believe it? So tell us who you've got in your lap there.
This is Pixie. Pixie has a broken spine, and so she, when she's out moving around, she gets to live in her bright pink wheelchair.
Right. And,
She's one of our 4 wheelchair dogs.
and let me tell you, she's fast. I can attest to that. She is quick. So how does Diamond fit into this mix? Well, that will all be revealed when we bring her back into this equation next.
Texas, come get in your chair. Come on, bud. Come on, buddy. Texas, get your chair. Texas here has something called mega esophagus. While our esophagus contracts to move the food and liquid down into our stomach, his does not. So in order for him to eat or drink anything, he needs to be in this special chair. The chair keeps him upright and basically uses gravity to help move the food and water down into his stomach. And he has to stay there for 30 entire minutes. So in order for it to process through. But he does a great job. Him and his chair are very close. Everybody that meets him loves him.
Well, I'm here with Jamie and David, who are owners of the animal rescue safe in Austin, and they are also featured with their family at their ranch with all of their animals in one of the 10 episodes in the docuseries, That Animal Rescue Show, which premieres tomorrow on CBS All Access. Diamond, are you there? I'd like to bring you and your dad back into the mix here. I would like to invite you as our guest to go to Austin and spend a few days at Safe in Austin with these animals and get to know them and use your platform to help me promote my platform, which is about animals and rescue and all the important things that we need to not forget about these animals. I think it would be a great experience for you, and I think it would give you another dimension to what you do and the message that you deliver to people. And I'll make it an open invitation, but whenever you can and will, I would love to fly you right into Austin and have you spend a few days with these folks working with their animals. You think you could do that?
Yes, that sounds very good. Thank you.
And Jamie, you and Dave would love to have her, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, of course. Just come out and take a breath. That's all.
Okay.
Just come out and get some love from some animals and take a breath. You totally deserve it.
Thank you.
Danny, Diamond, I want to thank you both. And Jamie and Dave, I want to thank both of you guys. And I look forward to all of y'all meeting very soon and spending some time with these very special animals. All right, coming up, we have a special reunion between a mother and her babies that you do not want to miss. I spent some time this hour talking about my upcoming docuseries that's all about rescuing animals, and this all took place in and around Austin, Texas. And it's cleverly named That Animal Rescue Show. And it premieres tomorrow on CBS All Access. You do not want to miss it because the stories are brave, they're heroic, and also you might want to get some Kleenex out because they will touch your heart. Now, in this next episode, Wanda was the owner of 3 cows, who she refers to as her babies. Let's see what happened when Wanda had to make a very tough and heartbreaking decision.
Austin Farm Sanctuary started 3 years ago. It's a nonprofit animal rescue. It's home to over 65 animals.
When we heard about animals that were in need, we started taking them in if we could.
We were tagged as the neighborhood weird animal people at that point, and we got a call about a 6-month-old pig. It was 120 pounds, and he basically had 3 days to either go to slaughter or find a new home. And so we brought him in. That kind of started everything. Jesse and Dexter, Wanda, found them and rescued them from an auction yard. She said, I'm homeless, and so essentially so are my cows, so I'm trying to find them a place to go.
Sure.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Angela.
I'm Wanda.
Thank you for putting so much effort into making sure they can find a home. And you were saying something about Jesse's eye as well.
Yeah, she's blind in one eye. Somebody shot it out.
Oh, he's so little and furry.
Yeah, he was premature. A friend of mine stopped at the house and said there was a calf down. It was just born, and the mama wouldn't have nothing to do with it.
And how'd Sydney come about?
Sydney was an accident. Jesse was staying with some friends while I was getting the pen and everything built, and his bull decided to come knocking. And he knocked one barbed wire fence down and jumped the other one.
Jeez. Do you know what your next step is? Are you figuring that out?
No clue.
Yeah.
I mean, I may be end up living in my truck. Hey. Man. Shut the gate, shut the gate.
Wanda, you're the best. Thanks for trusting us with your babies.
Hey, I'll take good care of them.
We will, promise.
I feel real good about where they're going. And I know my animals will be okay. And I'm only doing this because it's what's best for them. If I was doing what was best for me, I'd keep them.
Well, when we were shooting this episode and I saw Wanda and her cows, not only did I have to meet her, I also had to figure out a way to reunite her with her babies at Austin Farm Sanctuary.
Oh, here's our first coat.
This is Cookie.
What do you say, Cookie? She's really mellow. Well, it's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How did y'all get in touch with Wanda?
Facebook Sanctuary Grapevine. Somebody had posted, they had heard about these cows that were in need, so we reached out to Wanda and then heard more about the story. And it wasn't just somebody looking to rehome 3 cows, it was Wanda, this person who had just gone through all these trials and tribulations, just finding a place for her babies to land.
Everything she did to save them in the first place is just amazing. It really...
It's heroic.
Don't mind me. Yeah, I want to be more like Wanda, you know?
Exactly.
Well, God bless what you're doing.
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Well, Wanda, I'm thrilled to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
So how long's it been since you've seen these cows?
January.
You made a courageous decision. You came here to see these cattle again.
Yes,
so why
I
don't we
did.
why don't we go meet them right now?
Thank you.
Let's do it.
Your baby.
Jessie Mae. Jessie Mae, what are you doing?
Tell me about this one.
She's still beautiful. This is her favorite spot right here. Dexter Ray. Fat boy. Yeah, that's the premium.
Wow.
And Sydney's just wondering where the bites are.
Yeah. He's gotten large. It was very hard for me to give up my cows. They are part of my family. And they helped me through a lot. Jessie Mae. I'm so happy to be down here to see them again. I just hope they hadn't forgotten me. I just miss them every day.
Well, I'd like to introduce 5-time Academy Award nominee and Golden Globe Award-winning director, screenwriter, and producer whose films include School of Rock, Boyhood, and the Before trilogy. He's also the executive producer and director of That Animal Rescue Show, who I worked with on this docuseries for CBS All Access. Please welcome Richard Linklater. So thank you so much for joining us.
How's it going, Phil?
Pretty good, Richard. This has turned out to be a really amazing docuseries. I think it's exceeded both of our expectations when we started into this project. How do you feel about it now that we've got it in the can?
Oh, it's everything I hoped it would be. You know, it's just such a great portrait of all these wonderful people. And I think it really gives people a chance to, you know, you think of most Americans don't have any contact with animals outside maybe a dog or a cat, but this show really puts them in contact with not only farm animals, but, you know, wildlife, animals of all kinds.
Was there any episode or any animal that really stuck out to you throughout the series?
We had 2 episodes on pigs, and my family, we have a pig. I started talking to Julia, your company, and here we go. You know, sometime later we have a show, but it was really the pigs that kicked it off for me.
Listen, I can't tell you how grateful I am for your directing this in the way that you did and really bringing out the connection between the animals and the humans here. Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you some more.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Phil. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you again. When we come back, we help rescue some French bulldogs we found in horrific condition at a Chicago airport recently. I'll tell you all about it when we come back. My next guest is someone who I call a real friend. Illinois Congressman Mike Quigley, who recently stepped up to help save 20 French bulldogs after they were abandoned and so badly neglected at O'Hare Airport. Now, for a dog lover like me, this story was both horrifying and heartbreaking. Take a look.
15 French bulldogs discovered in an empty warehouse without food or water at O'Hare will be staying in the United States for now.
There are 15 in all. Police say they came from Jordan, but couldn't be released to their buyer because of bad paperwork. A Good Samaritan spotted them. Chicago French Bulldog Rescue says the dogs were in bad shape.
An animal rescue group is refusing to turn them over for deportation. Last week, the federal government demanded the group return the dogs. Today, we learned Senator Tammy Duckworth stepped in, and the dogs will stay until a court hearing later this week.
Congressman Mike Quigley made sure these dogs were given proper health care and proper treatment. Please welcome Congressman Mike Quigley, who is joining us from Chicago. Congressman, welcome.
It is great to be here. Thanks, Alfred. Thanks for your advocacy for our furry friends and the whole gang.
My son Jordan's had a French bulldog, and he is a real strong animal advocate. He and I got involved. Where are things now?
On the Friday before our puppy friends were going to be shipped back to Jordan, I got an urgent call from our friends at Paws, a shelter here in Chicago, letting me know what the situation was and what needed to happen. The good news is right now the dogs are under quality care. They're being loved. They're in quarantine. We learned that about 50,000 people signed a petition to help those French bulldogs. They told us that about that many people have expressed an interest in adopting those dogs.
These dogs came in from the Middle East. Were they smuggled in, or how did they get in here?
Look, they came in through a reputable airline. The problem is it was an irreputable breeder. If people want a breed-specific dog, there are breed-specific rescues for every dog in the country. Every type of dog. There are reputable breeders, but they began right here in the United States where they can be checked out very thoroughly.
If people buy puppies online or deal with internet pet sales, there's a really good chance they're being scammed or the animals are coming from someone who mistreats them, and you have no idea what kind of puppy mill they're coming out of. And these pups wound up in an empty warehouse, and they were in their own urine and feces for, I think, 4 days, no food, no water, just set aside, and they were in terrible condition. One died. So now we're looking at videos of them, and they're doing so much better at this point. When I first heard about this, I picked up the phone immediately and called my dear friend Madeline Bernstein, who is someone that I want to mention that has been pivotal in my fight for animal rights. When I adopted my dog Maggie years ago, Madeline was involved with that process. She was also one of the first people I was in contact with about this issue in Chicago to find out what was going on. And she is the president of the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals here in Los Angeles. She's a frequent speaker and commentator on issues relating to animal welfare, ethics, and law enforcement. She advocates for the humane treatment and respect for animals, and she's the author of the book Designer Dogs, an expose inside the criminal underworld of crossbreeding. And it really sheds lights on why adopting a dog is so important and the dangers of designer dogs. Madeline, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. You wrote the foreword for that book, so thank you again.
Yes, I'm so happy to do so. As Congressman Quigley was just saying, you get scammed if you're on the internet dealing with these puppies that are coming in from overseas, and there are so many dogs that need adopting at the local shelters around the United States, right?
Well, of course, and the scams just increased with the COVID situation because people figured that since adoptions were up and foster care was up, that now's a really good time to dump poorly treated dogs on people, not only in America, but other parts of the world. This is unfortunately a very typical thing. The paperwork is usually forged. And the holdup is never the welfare of the dogs. The holdup is always who's paying for these dogs. Is it the broker? Are potential buyers? Are the airlines responsible? And so the dispute also becomes very sticky, and it gets very, very ugly very fast.
Yeah, and Congressman, what's the call to action? What needs to happen here?
Well, I think the first is educating about how to get your puppies, but legislatively in government, what happened in O'Hare can't be allowed to happen again.
I was first contacted about this by Scott Holmes and Mary Shefke on Facebook. They just sent me a message and said, hey, we've learned about this happening up in Chicago. Can you help in some way? And that's when I reached out to Madeline to verify what was going on, and then Congressman Quigley, because he's in Illinois and Chicago, and we got the ball rolling, and that's how things got underway. So, Congressman, thank you so much for doing what you did to get this thing turned around for these pups. Their lives have just been saved. And Madeline, thank you so much for everything you do. The care of the French Bulldogs will be costing the dog rescue a total of $40,000. And if you would like to donate, you can go to thefrenchiepourvu.org and contribute to that. And LASPCA always needs money to feed their dogs and house their dogs and find them home. And I certainly support all of that, and I hope you guys will too. So, Congressman, thank you for taking the time. Madeline, thank you for taking the time as well. I want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Safe in Austin, Austin Farm Sanctuary, and my good friend Richard Linklater. Check out that animal rescue show, which you can begin streaming on CBS All Access beginning tomorrow, October 29th. Now, let me tell you something about this show. I've timed the release of this show to the end of October for a reason. You know, right now, there's just an awful lot of noise in our world. And I'm telling you, there's something about this show that I think is going to change your life. It's going to change your heart. It's going to give you a chance to take a deep breath and go, you know what? If I had a confidence crisis about human nature, it's kind of restored. This kind of brings me back to what life's supposed to be all about, and that's about caring for somebody besides ourselves. And I really think you're going to be inspired by this. I think you're going to have some laughs. I think it's going to be, I don't know, just a reminder about what we're supposed to be all about. So do me a favor, do yourselves a favor, and watch that animal rescue show on CBS All Access. I want to let my audience know that CBS All Access is providing 6-month commercial-free access for our virtual studio audience today, so all of you can check out that animal rescue show starting tomorrow, October 29th, only on CBS All Access. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret. A special thanks to Coach Mike Baer for being here and helping out with Diamond. Coach, thank you so much. I appreciate all of that. We'll see you next time. Stay safe.